Wow, Katie, you have been so consistent with these 5 things videos. Like, thank you for consistently producing these every month since you started with February. Hey guys, so if you didn't see my first 5 things video, which there's a very high chance that you didn't, it was for February, and here we are in June. Well, it wasn't because, that was my testing video, and it wasn't because I didn't like how it turned out or anything. It was mainly me just not doing them. In my defense, I did actually film one for April, but no. I filmed one for March, but by the time I got around to actually editing it, it was already like mid-April. I was like, it's too late for this. I have no excuse for April though, so sorry. So I have 5 things of May. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, these 5 things videos were intended to be really, literally 5 things from the month that I wanted to share with you guys that I would like to remember myself, looking back at these in the future. So let's get started. If I move a lot more than usual, it's because I'm standing up, which is a new thing that I've been trying. I did it in my last video on my other channel, so just bear with me. So the first thing is really sentimental and adorable, and I'm obsessed with it. So my grandpa, if you guys watch, I talked about it in a couple videos, I think. My grandpa had heart surgery in January. Was it January? It's been a while now. He's doing pretty well right now, actually. He's almost like fully recovered, so that's really just, it's a huge weight, like literally, oh my god, it was really stressful. But he and other people who have heart surgery, when they go in the car, they're not allowed to like expose their chest to even the seatbelt, so they had to use these heart pillows. But my grandpa gave his to me, and he wrote, "Dear Katie, I give you my heart," because it's a heart. It's cute, right? This is Love Gigi, which is what we call him. I've told this story, the names. Anyway, and it says happy birthday because we share the same birthday too, so it's like, aww. I don't know. This is like definitely one of my favorite things from May. Okay. Alright, the second thing is something that I had to share with you guys. It was an awkward encounter. Now you guys know that I'm already a socially awkward person in general, which is why I don't really want you guys to meet me in person, because they'll just be like, that was weird. So, if you make things even more awkward for me, it's really, really difficult, first of all, but if you do, that is reaching a whole new level. So, let me tell you the story. This is going to be kind of confusing, so I'm going to try to explain the situation. It was really uncomfortable for me. It may not seem like that when I explain it, but it was really, really awkward.
So, there's this girl. I went to middle school with her and high school with her, and I think I might have met her in elementary school. I can't remember exactly when our paths crossed for the first time, but she actually transferred to my university, I believe, this past year, so she goes here now. But my friend, he lives on campus, he has 2 roommates who she was sort of talking with, interacting with, I guess you could say, and apparently it was like really awkward. It was kind of like a strange love triangle, but not really sort of situation, and I really just wanted to witness it because I find some strange enjoyment in seeing other people in very awkward situations, assuming that I'm not one of them. So let's put that down as the foundation for this story.
So my friend called me, and he's like, hey, she's here. Okay, wait, so let's give her a name so that I don't get really, so I'm not gonna use real names because actually I have a feeling that at some point she or the dudes are gonna see this video, and I'm sorry guys, this was weird, so anyway, let's call her Joan, because hang in there, Joan, you know what I'm saying? So my friend calls me and he's like, hey, Joan's here. And I was like, oh my god, like I was like waiting. I really wanted to just see this whole interaction. So I was like, okay, I'm coming over. So I went to his apartment, and she was sitting in their like living area, which is like right open. So when you come in the front door, like it's right there. So normally I feel like when it's sitting in someone else's apartment and the door opens right there, like you look up or like you react in some way. She didn't. She had her hair like covered her face, and she's like looking at her computer, and like so we walked in and like nothing was said. So it was like really awkward. I was like, okay, so okay. No acknowledgement. Alright, that's fine. Like, okay. So he went in his room, and I was like, I can't handle it. Like, that was so weird. She didn't look up. She didn't move. Like, no reaction. Like, I don't know what to do with this. So then we usually just like chill in his room if if I'm there. Like, we usually don't go out in the living room and like talk with everybody and stuff. So, but he like wanted like her to see that I was there, like, I don't know, some sort of something. It was just like so weird. So he went out there and he was like talking with the guys and he was like trying to get me to go out there. So I went out there finally, and then he would like ask her questions, like she didn't even look up, or like she didn't, I was like, how do you, when you're talking to someone, like, you don't look ever? Like, what? I was so just like blown away by the strangeness. And at this point, I was like standing there like, this is so weird. And the thing is, it's not like we hadn't seen each other in a while, but she messaged me on my birthday, and like not just like wrote on my wall like normal people usually do, but she like personally Facebook messaged me on my birthday and was like, happy birthday, like congrats on all your success and whatever. She's like, if you ever need help with anything, like feel free to hit me up or something like that. Like, it was like, okay, like that's not like just generic what happy birthday. Like, she was like, that, I don't know what's it was so strange. It was to the point where I was like, I cannot handle any more of this awkwardness. Like, she has not looked up over here at all. Then she finally did look up, right? But it was like the fastest glance I have ever seen. It was literally just like, and it was done, and she didn't say anything to me. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go back in your room. This is okay. It was so awkward. Even my friend was just like, that was really weird. I don't, like, should I bring this out in people? Because I can't, I could not. It was so weird. It's so yeah, I'm like, you know what? I bring enough social awkwardness to the table. I cannot handle anyone else bringing any, because there's just too much. It's an overload. I can't do that. So it was weird. I hope this sounds as awkward as it really was, because believe me, I was like, this is okay, let's move on. Number 3 of the month. I have talked about pentatonics before. I have talked about superfruit before. I am obsessed with these people. So if you guys somehow haven't heard of pentatonics or superfruit, so superfruit is Scott and Mitch. They are 2 BFFs from Pentatonics. Pentatonics is a group of 5 musicians. They're an a cappella group. I'm sure you guys have seen at least one of their videos before. But Scott and Mitch are in Pentatonics along with Kirsty, Kevin, and Avi. So I have been obsessed with Pentatonics since they were on the Sing-Off, which is kind of where they launched their whole career and even their group. So their cover of Say Something, for some reason, I didn't watch it when it came out. I think because that song was so overplayed and I was sick of it, so I didn't even watch that video until like a couple weeks ago. I watched it for the first time. Oh my god, it's so good. Specifically in that little bridge that they added, I believe it starts at like 2, I think it's like 2:55 or something. I am making this up entirely. I think that might be correct though. It starts with Scott. It's like the prettiest arrangement right there. I was like, damn, that is solid arranging right there. I love that part. So I know you guys may be sick of that song too, but that cover and that addition that they added, good words. It's so good. So yeah. And Superfruit, there's this one video. See, I wish that my friends also knew about Superfruit, or at least that they were big fans of Superfruit, because there's this one video, I think it's called 101 Ways to Ditch Your Friends, or something like that, essentially, which is so hilarious because it totally like applies to my life situations, because it's not that I have very many friends, that I make a ton of plans, but usually when I do, I end up at some point really wanting to cancel them. So this video speaks to me very strongly, let's say. So you guys should watch that video if you haven't. I'll link both of them in the description box below. But I just really want to use any of those excuses when my friends call me or text me or something, because then it'll be like funny and they won't be like, what are you talking about? Specifically, I want to be like, I'm stuck in a well. You guys have to watch the video. It'll make sense. I really want to just use all of them, but stuck in a well. Great. Okay. You should watch it. Alright, so for number 4, I found a quote. I believe I found it on Tumblr through one of the psychology blogs that I follow, but I just thought it was really interesting because it's something that, I don't know, I found like a little bit profound for me, a different way of looking at things. So it says, anxiety is practicing failure in advance. Anxiety is needless and imaginary. It's fear about fear, fear that means nothing, which I think is interesting because I've talked about sort of dealing with anxiety a lot, not to the point where I need to go like to the doctor about it or anything, but I have a lot of like stress and nerves and stuff like that I deal with on a daily basis, I guess you could say, especially when it comes to making big decisions and things like that. Now that I'm graduating soon, it's just a little bit more tense than usual. So I thought that was cool. I don't know, I just hadn't really thought about anxiety in that way before. Anxiety is practicing failure in advance. Like, that is so accurate. It's worrying about things that haven't really happened yet. So I don't know, I just thought I would share that with you guys. The quote is from Seth Godin. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. And lastly, number 5 is actually from April, but since I didn't do a video for April, I figured I would throw it in here. My friend was in class. It was a stats class, so maybe it was you, but my friend texted me. She was like, hey, someone's watching one of your videos in my class right now. I was like, oh, that's like really random, but that's kind of cool. So shout out to whoever was watching my video in class, even though you really probably shouldn't have been watching it. But I just thought that was cool because I never really had that kind of thing before. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So yeah. Anyway, I just want to take the time to say thank you guys for all the new subscribers and all the views. I think my 10 Things I Wish I Knew Before College video has reached almost 150,000 views now, which is kind of crazy considering on my other channel my highest viewed video is not even close to that, so it's pretty crazy to see how many views that video has gotten. So I hope you guys enjoy these 5 things videos. Granted, this is only the second one, but you know, roll with me here. But next week is finals week, and I really should be studying and working on my research paper right now, but instead I'm doing this because I like to procrastinate. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching. Bye!